This training is presented by the California Student Aid Commission. Welcome to our Middle Class Scholarship 2.0 Training Module Series. This is Module 3, Payments. This module will cover the following MCS topics: reporting payments, enrollment status and pay codes, award variances, payment scenarios, and helpful resources. Campuses have two ways to report MCS payments within web grants. The first is directly on the online roster using the MCS Display Roster page. This is a great option for schools with small rosters or when recertifying or reconciling payments. The second method is through a batch process using the MCS payment roster file. The current MCS processing schedule by CSAC is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. As you can see here, Monday and Wednesday nights are reserved for payments and corrections only. Friday nights also include the processing of enrollment files for new MCS awards. When reporting payments, schools will also indicate the student's enrollment status. For the purposes of MCS payments, 12 or more units is considered full-time and grants the student 100% of the term award amount. 9 to 11 units is considered three-quarter time, and 6 to 8 units is considered half-time. Students enrolled in 5 units or less are considered less than half-time and not eligible for term payment. The percentages listed here refer to the term award amount a student would be eligible to receive for disbursement. For example, a student with a $1,000 maximum term award enrolled three-quarter time would be eligible for 75% of that award, or $750. On the next slide, we will look at MCS eligibility usage per term. Here is a breakdown of MCS enrollment statuses, their respective status codes, and the eligibility used per term. An enrollment status code of 1 indicates the student was full-time and eligible for a payment amount equal to 100% of the max term award amount within an allowable award variance. We'll talk more about award variances later in this module. A full-time payment would result in the student using 50% eligibility if enrolled at a semester school, or if enrolled at a quarter school, they would use 33.33% of lifetime eligibility. Enrollment status codes 2 and 3 result in a $0 award and 0% lifetime eligibility used. An enrollment status code of 4 indicates the student was enrolled half-time. At a semester school, a half-time award is the equivalent of 50% of the max term award amount within the allowable variance. At a quarter school, a half-time award amount is calculated as 49.98% of the max term award amount, again within the allowable variance. A status code of 5 should be used for students enrolled three-quarter time. At a semester school, three-quarter time awards are equal to 75% of the max term award amount, and of course within that allowable variance. Quarter schools will calculate a three-quarter time award as 75.01% of the max term award amount. All less than full-time payments are rounded to the nearest whole dollar using standard rounding and an allowable variance of $5 per term at a semester school and $3 per term at a quarter school. Now let's take a look at adjustment reason codes. These codes are reported in a separate field different from enrollment status codes. An adjustment reason code of 1 indicates the student is enrolled in a post-baccalaureate program and therefore ineligible for an MCS payment. An adjustment reason code of 2 identifies the student as not meeting SAP and is also ineligible for payment. Reporting code 5 is when the school decides to use the refund adjusted payment option to report a payment amount from anywhere between $1 and the max term award amount. Finally, a 7 code is used when the student is ineligible for any other reason. Reporting an adjustment reason code of 1, 2, or 7 will report in the MCS award being withdrawn if the code is used at the annual level or for all applicable terms. If the student is ineligible for the award year, please report this code at the annual level in the case that the student should be reconsidered in the future. To find your school's MCS display roster, log into Web Grants for Institutions and find the link under the MCS banner. If the MCS menu is not visible, check with your school's Web Grants System Administrator for access. Following the MCS display roster link will bring you to the roster search page. At the top, select your 8-digit school ID and then select the appropriate academic year. To find a specific student, enter their Social Security number, DREAM Act ID, or CSAC ID. Then click Search to find MCS records. To view a specific student's MCS record, click the eyeball icon next to their name. Now let's deconstruct the MCS display roster page for an individual student. Use this screen to post payments and make corrections. We will look at the entire screen in detail over the next 3 slides. At the top, you will see the student demographics section. This section includes the student's personal identifiers, their education level, student attendance status, and dependency status, as well as their self-help gift aid excess. In this field, you will see if any of the self-help aid reported by your school was included in the MCS award calculation. In the next column, you will see the annual Cal Grant award amount as it appeared on the Cal Grant roster at the time of initial MCS awarding. This field is informational only and is not updated with subsequent transactions. Next, you'll see the student's MCS maximum award amount and annual award amount. The max award amount is the maximum award for the year based on the student's attendance status and if they were attending full time. The annual award amount is based on the total award paid to the student. Therefore, the annual award amount field will change as your school reports payments for each term. Assets are listed here as reported on the ICER. Here you will see if the student has a teaching credential program flag, a foster youth flag, and what the student's marital status is. In the third column, you will see the student's total MCS eligibility granted upon their initial award year, what has been used, and what remains. The year that the student entered the MCS program is listed here. And finally, you'll see the student and parent contribution amounts from the ICER and 33% of the parent contribution amount if this is a dependent student whose family's income is over $100,000. Below the student demographics section are the transaction and annual data sections. In these sections, you can make annual level corrections to the student's MCS record. You can also select your transaction type here. Use the bubbles to choose if you are making a correction or posting a payment. This drop-down menu allows you to make annual eligibility updates for things like SAP, enrollment, being over the asset ceiling, and so on. These annual fields will open up for changes only if you have selected an annual correction. Finally, you can view the student's payment history by clicking the box on the top right. Some fields may be labeled as FTI, or federal tax information. Information provided in any fields labeled as FTI must be highly protected and confidential. The last section of the MCS display roster page is the student's term data. You can use this section to post a payment or to make term-specific corrections. Use the enrollment status drop-down menu to post a payment. Use the adjustment reason code drop-down menu to make term level changes to the student's status or adjust a payment amount. Also, if a payment must be recertified, it will be indicated here in red font. We will discuss recertifying payments more later in another module. Red font in brackets shows what values are currently on file for the student. Updates to these fields will result in a correction that will be processed on the following processing day, which are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. Sometimes subsequent corrections can cause award amounts to increase or decrease by just a few dollars, even after the school has already posted a payment. For that reason, CSAC permits schools to report award amounts within a variance of no more than $10 per year. When posting a payment using an enrollment status code of full-time, three-quarter time, or half-time, the school may post a paid amount that falls within a per-term variance threshold. For quarter schools, the allowable variance is plus or minus $3 per term. Semester schools have an allowable variance of plus or minus $5 per term. The system will accept payments within these allowable variances and will consider the payment reconciled. Let's take a look at a real-life example on the next slide. Here we have a student that was paid full-time at their original maximum term award amount of $1,161. A correction was later made to that term, which increased the maximum term award amount to $1,496. Because the term was already paid, the award is set to recertify status. Again, we will discuss the recertify status in a later module. When the school goes to increase the student's award, they will be permitted to post a payment within the allowable variance threshold. In this example, the quarter school can post a full-time payment from anywhere between $14.93 and $14.99 for that term. That includes the $3 variance above or below the max term award of $14.96. Any amount within this variance is acceptable. When students qualify for an MCS award of at least $1, they are permitted to receive the minimum annual award amount of $90. That means the minimum term award amount per semester is $45, while the minimum term award amount per quarter is $30. Minimum term awards are not subject to proration based on enrollment status. For example, this student is enrolled half-time at a semester school. Their maximum term award is $63. However, if prorated based on half-time, their half-time award amount would fall under the minimum threshold of $45 per semester. For that reason, the student is entitled to a payment of $45 even when enrolled half-time. The system will automatically update their award amount to $45. Let's take a look at some other payment scenarios. Scenario number 1, the student is not enrolled. First, select Payment as your transaction type. Then select Not Enrolled under Enrollment Status. The payment amount must equal 0 for it to successfully process. This will not use any lifetime eligibility and reduces the award amount to 0. The max term award amount stays intact. If this payment type is posted across all terms or is combined with all other $0 payments, the student will be removed from your MCS roster. Scenario 2. Using the refund adjustment payment option to post a dollar amount less than the max term award amount. Select Payment for your transaction type, then select Refund Adjusted Payment under the Adjustment Reason Code field. Enter your payment amount and click Save. Any amount greater than $0 will use 50% semester or 33% quarter eligibility for the term. The max term award amount will remain intact, and the term award amount will be updated to equal your payment amount. Scenario number 3. Report a student as not eligible for MCS at the term level. Click Payment as your transaction type. Then select the appropriate status from the Adjustment Reason Code drop-down menu. CSAC recommends using a term-level transaction to report a student's ineligibility unless the student is ineligible for the entire year. Please note, an ineligible correction at the annual level will withdraw the student from your roster. Here, you can select that the student is a post-baccalaureate, not meeting SAP, or is ineligible for another reason. The amount paid will automatically populate with a $0 payment. For more middle class scholarship resources, be sure to visit our MCS webpage for schools. There you will find the comprehensive MCS handbook, enrollment file layouts, payment roster file layouts, and other output data layouts. Thank you for watching Module 3 of our Middle Class Scholarship 2.0 Training Module Series.